In this video, I'm going to talk about the 3 best ways of how you can optimize your Google Local Service ads and how you can use those today. So in this video, I'm going to cover 3 things with you today. The first one is going to be how to mark your leads as booked when they book an appointment or estimate with you. Number 2 is going to be how to set your budget correctly. And then third, the most important, how to answer your calls correctly. So the first thing is you want to mark your leads, these inbound calls, as booked, because Google doesn't want to keep sending you things if you're not going to convert them. They want to make sure that this person goes from somebody who wants a service and then someone who is turning into something, preferably a customer, ideally for you as the business owner. So to do that is actually a very simple step. All you got to do is go into your lead section here, and then I'm just going to go to one of the more recently charged phone calls we had here. I'm going to click this lead right here. And then what you do is super simple. You just want to go ahead and click right here, mark booked. And then you can say already completed. If you want, though, you can always say if it's in the future. And if you don't know the exact time specifically, try to have it as close as possible. So like in this case, I'm going to say upcoming, and I'll just say, September 24th at, we'll just say 2:30. And you can scroll down anytime it goes in 30-minute increments. And then you click save. And then it shows that as a booked lead, which is, again, very important because the more you show that you are booking leads, the more Google is going to want to send leads to you. Very, very important here. Now, step number 2 is how to set your budget correctly. What I'm going to do now is go from the leads section here all the way to profile and budget. And so as you can see here, this client is a bigger company, and so I have them set here as a $2,000 weekly budget. And I know the first thing people are going to be thinking of is, oh my God, I don't have $2,000 to spend on a weekly basis. I don't have $8,000 to spend a month. And that is totally fine. You don't have to. In my experience, you usually want to 3, 4, even 5 times overestimate what you're willing to spend. So like this client, they're actually willing to spend about $2,000 to $3,000, but I put them here as the average weekly budget at $2,000. 1, because Google is going to give you more opportunities the more that you are willing to spend. And then 2, because if you're going to get priority more, because people that spend less usually get less opportunities there. So as you can see, and in my experience, it doesn't actually spend this. The good news is though, if you do ever need to, all you have to do, like say I'm saying $2,000 a week and this person gets 5 calls in 1 week, you can always just turn the ad off right here. All you have to do is just click this and it goes off, and then you can just resume it. Or you can always check with your client, say, hey, Mr. Client, we've gotten you 5 to 10 calls this week. They all seem super great. Can we leave this on and keep going? And then you can kind of go accordingly from there. And step number 3, the most important thing, folks, answer the phone. Answer the phone. It's very, very important. Google is going to bill you for any call that is over 30 seconds long. So if you are not answering those phone calls, and as long as you're not in the health industry like physical therapy, they can review those calls. So if you try to dispute a call saying that it was bogus, and you didn't answer in 30 seconds, it'll get shut down most of the time. Also, speed of lead matters. If someone calls you and you don't pick up, they're gonna go to the next person and you're gonna miss out on that, while also still being charged for that lead. Even if you don't answer in the first 30 seconds, you are still billed for that. So I can't stress that and make that as clear enough. So when you're making your profile for Google LSA, always make sure that they are during business hours, or you have a dedicated person who can answer the phone. I've seen a lot of companies struggle with that, and it sounds super simple, but again, answering the call is important because you can say, oh, I'm open 24/7, but if you're not answering phone calls and Google sees that, you go from the top 1, 2, or 3 down to like the bottom and be basically in the cellar moving forward. So I can't stress that enough. Answer the phone within the first 30 seconds or sooner. Have that dedicated person or just be ready to answer the phone all the time. It's like seriously the biggest difference from people who are at the very top of the rankings for LSA and who are at the bottom. Now that you've watched this video, I want you to go ahead and check out my next video on how to set up your Google LSA application.